you, this is shielded, so you're only ever getting indirect light. It's just such a fuss-free gadget. Like, the entire setup is just tap this to select between high and low brightness, use the slider to set it to auto, and then just stick it on your wall. Done. 9 out of 10. So far then, we've found that a lot of Xiaomi's niche products are extremely good. But for me, the question that is just as interesting is, how good are their most popular ones? So this is their Smart Band 10, offering basically smartwatch functionality, but for $45. And then they also have their luxury variant, the Glimmer Edition, which is $95. So I've been wearing this $45 band for a few days now, at the same time as this $800 Apple Watch Ultra 3 that I just switched to, because I keep breaking the normal Apple Watches. That's its own story. But here's the thing. I am absolutely shocked by how comparable it is. Like, there shouldn't be a situation where you have to think about it when you're comparing a product that's a 10th of the price, or in this case, almost a 20th. But here, you actually do. Look at this. This is weather, this is calories, this is activity, this is step count. This is giving me all of the same information as my Apple Watch, and not in a cheap Chinese knockoff way that you might expect for the money. This is still a proper AMOLED display that runs at a smooth 60 frames per second. Then I thought, oh, well, you know, the step counting's gonna suck. But I've done multiple walks of 200 steps, and it's very consistently reporting between 200 and 205, which is as good as the Apple Watch. I've been using it for sleep too, which, by the way, is significantly more comfortable to wear for than any kind of Apple Watch. It's basically like wearing a bracelet. And again, the results it gives me are very aligned with what my Apple Health says and also what my bed's own tracking software says. The Apple Watch is way more of a smartphone in itself. It can run proper apps, it can reply to messages, but if you don't need that, which I come to realize I don't at all, then this Xiaomi has completely changed my mind on how much the average user should be spending to track their health. Because it still has like 150 different sport modes, still has the same water resistance as Apple, but also with a battery that lasts for 10 days, even with the display always on, compared to 1 and maybe 2 at a push. I think this Glimmer Edition is very nice, but quite strange. It feels like a weird proposition to pay twice the price for nice materials on a product that's otherwise so laser focused on value. The base watch, even better than the flashlight. 10 out of 10. This streak of products has been suspiciously successful so far, which means statistically we're due a stinker. So is it going to be Xiaomi's desktop speaker, which is a fairly atypical product for a desk, because it's actually a soundbar? I guess there is one very immediate, obvious benefit. That looks so clean compared to having, say, 2 big bookshelf speakers on either side. It doesn't feel cheap either, and it's got this outrageously satisfying knob on the side, which you use to control volume, and you can see it being represented on this light bar at the bottom. It's meant to add vibes and pulse with the music, but I'm not really sure why they bothered, because it's so dim that you'd probably have to be working in pitch black to notice. Okay, I would say better than pretty much every laptop speaker, not quite as good as the best Bluetooth speakers for this price. The audio could be a little bit cleaner. It's definitely my least favorite product so far, but it's not bad, so 6.5. Now, when it comes to the smartphone, the idea of carrying around earphones, or even a power bank, I would say, has become fairly normalized. But one thing that definitely hasn't caught on is the portable printer. So let's see if Xiaomi's fairly pricey Printer Pro can change that. So let's say I wanted to print a photo of this fine gentleman. Let's add a little tag at the bottom. Current in his dad mode era. Now we just print. It does actually take a decent amount of time, about a minute in total, because it's applying the dye 1 layer of color at a time. Ooh, for a printer this tiny, that is a blummin' impressive result. Feels like you can see each strand of hair, and the colors are spot on, not in the slightest bit faint. Although the downside of that is that each ink cartridge only lasts about 10 prints. But you know the craziest part is this image is actually a video in which this handsome devil is showing you how to add portable printer to my EDC. Probably not. Is this the best one I've tried though? Yeah, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. But now we're entering the upper echelon. These are some of the most expensive products Xiaomi makes, starting with the $500 iPad mini. Sorry, Pad Mini. But yeah, it's pretty clear that this is Xiaomi's answer to Apple's fun-sized iPad. And to be fair, assuming we're comparing the 256GB versions, it is $100 cheaper. Feels solid enough. Pretty high quality. It's got not one, but 2 USB-C ports, so you could charge through this one while the other is connected up to a USB hub like this. There's this whole thing about